Hello, I'm Heather. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making some easy pinecone crafts that anybody can do, and they're perfect for fall and clear into Thanksgiving. We're going to be making these pinecone napkin holders. So I'm going to start out with some ribbon. I did use the wired ribbon, and I'm going to cut it into 4 sections. So I've got 2 of the rust colored burlap and 2 of the tan colored burlap. Now the tan doesn't have the wire and the rust does, and either one really will work. The rust ones are a little easier to get into place. So you're going to just want to make them whatever size would fit around the napkins that you plan to use. I'm just using hot glue and gluing that onto itself. You just have to be careful on the underside because you can get burned. It does go through the mesh. After we get them all done, I'm going to flatten them out a little bit to give us an easier work surface. And we're going to just use some pine cones, cotton balls, different colored leaves. I've got some little florals and some seeds. And now I'm just playing around with it till I get them how I want. And here, after I've got them all done, now I can just go back and see if they need any fillers. Finish them up. Now, of course, you can use any kind of embellishments that you want to, and even things maybe that you find out in nature. And here's how they came out. I did put a napkin in this one. It would probably work better with a cloth napkin, but I have this paper one I tried it on today. You can see all the different styles that I made. It's just a nice simple craft. Doesn't take much time, and it makes a cute idea for your tablescape at Thanksgiving. Next, we're going to be making a pinecone door hanging. And we're going to need 2 longer pine cones and 2 pieces of ribbon, about 3 feet of ribbon, not quite, 2 to 3 feet I would say. It depends how long you want to make yours. But I'm just taking and tying the ribbon onto each one, just tying it with a simple bow. And then I'm going to embellish each pine cone. Now this is going to be hanging down, so the pine cones will be hanging down, and so you want to just kind of keep things on one side. So here I'm just putting some leaves and some fall florals and gluing them in. And that one's done, and then I'm going to take this other one and get some florals for it. And you can use any kind of florals you want. You can use regular flowers. You can use leaves, little sunflowers, whatever you want for your table. And I just kind of made mine the more traditional fall colors because it's going to go out on my front porch. Now when you get them done, you're going to tie a bow up at the top, but you want them to hang at 2 different levels so they show up easier and they don't hit each other when they're hanging. So I made one a little shorter than the other and tied with a ribbon, and this is how they came out. I will be putting them on my door, but I hung them on here so it'd be easier for you to see how it looks. And that's all there is to that one. The next craft we're going to make with pine cones are some little gnomes. So first I'm going to need some felt, and you can use any kind of felt. I've got some soft, thinner kinds, and I've got some thicker kinds here. I was just picking out the colors that I wanted to use for fall. And these little gnomes are going to have a hanger on them, so they can hang from a branch or a little tree if you've got a fall tree up. So I've cut these. I started with a square of fabric, and then I folded it so it was a triangle and cut it so that the one side of a triangle is curved, like what I've got here. So you just need to measure your pine cones and see what you need for sizes, and then make a pattern. And I did have some small ones and some large ones, so I made some a little bigger than others. And I'm just rolling it upon itself and then using hot glue. You do want the hats to be a little bit oversized, just because that's what makes it into a cute little gnome. But you want to make sure it fits down over your pine cone. So I did 6 of these. So you're going to need you can do different sizes of pine cones. You can do them all the same. Depends what you have. Mine were kind of long ones, like I've used for the other 2 crafts in this video. So you're just going to tuck it in, roll it over itself, tuck in that top part so that it makes a nice point. And I did use Aleene's tacky glue, and I also used the hot glue. Now I'm just trimming up the edges a little bit too as I go, making sure they all line up right. This green felt I had was very stiff. It wasn't the same kind of nice wool that the other I had was. So now I just go about seeing which ones fit which pine cones. As you can see, I've got some little, some bigger. And as I get these on, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and glue these little hats on in a couple spots each. Now, I didn't show a lot of that part. I just did that off camera. So once that's all glued on, we need some noses for these guys. Now, it would work best if you just had some solid beads. Now, mine have a little hole in them because they're to string, and I ended up using them anyway, but from the side, of course, you can see the hole. Mine are just going to be to hang on my little tree in the house for the grandkids to see. But if you really, want them to look a little nicer, use the solid little wooden balls. I didn't even think about the hole when I was thinking in my head to make these. So I got to put them on and I was like, oh no, I didn't feel like filling them all and sanding them down. So I just positioned mine so that the holes were off to the sides. And it's really not very noticeable once I got them done and kind of tucked back under the hats. And I did just kind of tuck them up under the rim a little bit, so they're kind of peeking out. And now I'm going to take some jute twine, and I'm just going to make a little hanger for each of them. I want them to be able to hang on a branch that I'm going to put in a pot and kind of hang these guys from it on my front porch. So I'm just taking a small amount of the twine and making a loop and then gluing the 2 ends down onto the very tip of the hat. And if you want to make these a little fancier and put something else on the hats or add a little pom-pom or however you want to do it, I wanted to keep mine simple. And quite honestly, the grandkids will probably play with them out on the tree, which will be just fine. But this gives you a third simple pinecone craft to do. And all of them were fairly quick, didn't take very long at all. And here's how they turned out. They're pretty cute little guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos today. I hope that you have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.